Everyone always assumes that because someone is young that they're automatically good with technology. But what we've seen over the last couple of years is that as Gen Z has entered the workforce, there's actually a pretty substantial tech gap. And I think AI is about to make it even worse. The other day I was scrolling through TikTok and I found a video of a woman saying, "Tell me how old you are and if you use ChatGPT or AI on a regular basis." As I was scrolling through the comments, I don't think I saw a single person under the age of 25 who said that they are using ChatGPT or AI on a regular basis, which plays into this skill gap thing in two ways. Specifically, millennials and the tail end of Gen X grew up alongside technology. We had to figure out how it worked, and by the time that we got into the workforce, we were using technology on a regular basis. But because we grew up alongside it, we deeply understand how technology works as opposed to just having a consumption-based relationship. Younger people got technology that was just ready to interact with. Instead of having to build a MySpace, they just log on to a social media app. Instead of figuring out how to download music, illegally burn it to a CD and listen to it in my Walkman, my kids can just talk to their voice assistant and have music play. But the problem with that type of consumption-based relationship is that you don't actually understand fully how you're interacting with technology, which I think a lot of these people that are saying that they don't use AI aren't realizing how often it is in their face because it's everywhere now. They were talking about how they don't use AI as they're on TikTok with an algorithm feeding them videos on a platter. If they have an iPhone and they ask Siri a question, it's now interacting with ChatGPT. If they Google a question and it comes up with an AI-generated answer, they are using a large language model passively in the background. They are just not taking an active role in building the skill sets that go along with using AI. They are strictly just consuming it. And the other part of this that's really interesting is if they're not building those skill sets on their own by using this stuff in their personal lives, they're probably not going to build the skills before they go out into the workforce because schools aren't teaching it yet. Whereas all of the people in the comments that were 35 or 40 years old were talking about how they're using these large language models almost daily. These people in the workforce right now are learning alongside the technology as it develops, the same way that we did with every other tool that we got access to. But that means when these people who are younger that might be in the tail end of high school or college or just entering the workforce, if they're not actively building the digital literacy that's needed to interact with these tools, there's going to be a skill gap there because the people that are older than them who are used to flexing that muscle are starting to learn alongside the tools. And whether these younger generations have a moral obligation against these tools because of environmental impact or whatever reason why they're not using it, which are fine, that's all your own prerogative, every single company in every single industry that I'm talking to or have as a client is trying to figure out where and how they can plug AI in. And if you want to be an effective employee and you want to have a job and you don't want to be replaced by AI, you better fucking figure out how to use it.